notifications again. So my radio was down. Any updates? Radio was down for the last while. But nothing new. We're just looking around now. HD again. Just here back on quarantine area. Whereabouts are you now? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just going to go around here. Look down towards Gary Water again a little bit later. If anything that pops out somewhere. Is going somewhere that I was thinking of going later, so it's good to check where everyone's going. He's checking down towards Twin Dams. There's a good area to check. Bit of game, and this is our Kudu herd that we've seen a few times. Oh, sorry, bro, got a bumpy one there. Look at that. This is very close to camp. See just back there we can see the mast for a little bit. This is a lovely area. The Kudu there amongst the Impala gives you a nice idea of how much bigger they are. All the animals seeming a little bit more energetic than earlier. It is cooling down a bit. The sun has been blocked for a little while now by the clouds, so it's made a massive difference for us in temperature. You can see a little bit of extra life in them. Stunning antelope. That female also looks a bit pregnant. lovely part of the afternoon. We can just take our time here a bit because we have time. Whoa, look at this. Guys, look at this. This is so cool. The wildebeest is running amongst the impala there and chasing them around. Now this wildebeest is, as I said, a day, maybe 2 days old. Let's just go a little bit closer. That was so cool. He was running amongst the impala and he was chasing them a bit, and you could just see this sort of, I mean, the impala didn't mind, they weren't afraid, they were just playing along. That was just a lovely little big sight. Let's, hey, he's feeling dapper, huh? Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Hey, he's full of life. I can run, I can run, I'm going to chase the impala. Oh guys, this is awesome. Let's just sit here and enjoy this for a bit. I hope this continues. This is very cool. Let's see if he does it again. That's 2 times now. I'm sure he might do it again. Absolutely beautiful, you know, that tiny. Excuse me. There we go. He's doing a bit of his strutting as well when they run sort of in a very specific way. Beautiful baby impala there in the background as well. Termite mounds, some of the big tree trunks. You can see the marks of an elephant on there. So much to look at, so much to enjoy around us now. Absolutely stunning. Exactly like little kids, Anne. Let's watch this guy a little bit. You can see a little bit of the umbilical cord still standing there at the bottom end of the belly. Now it's got to rest. That was a lot of activity for such a young body. Ephraim again? Ja, voor wanneer Engels 6? Oh, okay. So I thought this side. Come on. It's just Ephraim, but he's in an area too far for us to get to, or area that we can't get to. We're talking about some tracks he's following up on. It's good to be out here. It's been a while since maybe a small thing for many of you. I mean, many of you won't even really care or know what I'm talking about now, but it's been a while since I've been this touched by a specific animal's scenario, if you want. That wildebeest cow that we were just looking at, the one has got a calf with her running around full of life. The other one lost her calf yesterday morning to a leopard, and trust me, I'm the last one to say I'm so sad for the calf, because the leopard needs his food the same as everything else does, and I'm totally into that. I grew up in Africa. That's part of life for me, but this specific cow has just touched me greatly. I told my wife this morning about it when we spoke, and I just said this specific little story has just really touched me in my heart. And I was just wondering, I mean, we all think animals just sort of go along, no thinking, no nothing, and that's not true. I've seen enough wildlife now in my life to know that animals have got more going on than just a sort of beat of survival, food, sleep, procreate. There's more to it for all life. I think we as humans would be extremely arrogant or naive to think that we are ignorant. Maybe we're the only ones that can think. Yes, we can reason and we can build spaceships that fly to Mars, and technology that does amazing things, obviously, but I've seen too much caring and too much closeness between animals, and especially animals and the young, to think that they are just mindless creatures running around. I know that, and I'm sure many of you, all of you, would agree with that to some extent or another. I just find myself again, I wonder if she's missing that little calf. But anyway, that was just little thoughts in my mind. Hello, Donna. Well, we're going to go to happier viewing. We're going to look at all these Impala that are spread out here, of which almost all of them will give birth in the next few days, probably. But Donna's just asking, at what age did the wildebeest start getting darker, that we were just looking at now? Well, they actually start from quite young. This is a lovely view. We all love termite mounds. Look at how nicely that makes a little shape with the color of the Impalas. Let's sit here for a bit. Donna, I mean, in a small way, you could say they start getting darker from now onwards. In other words, from days old, because it's a gradual process. But here I'm just trying to think now. Well, definitely by a year old, they've got the coloration of the adults. So it's a process gradually over the first year. But I'd say by 6-8 months, they're substantially darker. In other words, by 6 to 8 months, they are closer to the color of the adults than they are to the color of these sort of newborns. You get the same with hartebeest, tesserae, your plains antelope, that they do the same. Just so that these little youngsters have got the best chance of survival, the best camouflage possible. It does make you wonder, and I've never read anything specific for it, it does make you wonder why they get darker when they get older though. Why would wildebeest be as dark as they are? What benefit is there in that for them? Hi Maureen, good question, just asking or wondering if the wildebeest, will they or will they not protect their babies from big cats? The answer to that is all animals will protect their young, well, all mammals. I mean, it depends on the involvement with their young, but wildebeest, Impala, Kudu, they would all protect their young to some extent or another, slightly dependent on the individual as well. I mean, as we all know, as with humans, some animals are sort of a little bit feistier than others, but the wildebeest will, but it depends on what is possible. Excuse me. It obviously is within reason how quickly it happens or not, what is the risk to the adult, and so forth. I saw a great video not so long ago on YouTube about a leopard that grabbed hold of a wildebeest, and then the mother came back in and gave the leopard one spectacular, I can't remember if it was a left or a right hook, but one of the two hooks were the horns, and the leopard actually had to, it was all over, the youngster survived. So it does happen, but it really is circumstantial and depending on the individuals and all those things. So Sometimes with success, often not. Brian's been very keen for us to spend some time with Impala. Excuse me. We would love to see a birth, and there are many of them here that are close enough to it. Beautiful ram in the back there, big male. We spoke about this individual earlier. He's got, I would say, certainly above average size horns. Jane just saying that she enjoyed that young wildebeest. We're going to go back there a bit, but at the moment they're still sleeping. But if he gets up to a bit of playing around, we'll go have another look. Little spunky, I think is what Jan was calling him. Yeah, no, I think I share that sentiment with you all. Will's just saying he hopes this one survives. Too much sadness for me if this one also got caught in the next day or two. But as I mentioned, we are very close to the lodge. I just saw we're looking at that signpost there. We are right at Voitela Lodge. Oh, this is going to be a good sky. You get a bit of colour on that. And Voitela Lodge, even though there are obviously people and guests here, it is such a free-flowing area for wildlife. I have seen over the years elephant, buffalo, hippo, lion, a lot of leopard, cheetah. I'm trying to think, wild dogs. Not in the lodge, I've seen wild dogs here, but those things I just mentioned, I've seen inside the area of the lodge. Back in the day, before I was grey, and that's so much to say. I'll still tell you guys, sorry, we've been joking around in it, sorry, this is off the topic now. But exactly. Brian is an exceptional beatboxer. I am not an exceptional rapper at all by any means, but we might still play with that. Brian is amazing with it. We have lots of fun and entertainment from him. But anyway, what I was going to say, back long ago before I was grey, and I guided Voitela, we would actually walk guests back to the, I don't know what to look at. We've got this amazing sky, we've got Impala around, there's a couple of little lambs in front. I think the lambs are winning. And we would walk the guests back to their rooms, especially at night after dinner, because it was quite a long walk. The furthest rooms were a good 200 yards away from the lodge. And in the spotlights, you would see all those animals over time. So even though we are right here where there's sort of a human footprint, that human footprint is so much part of the nature around it, the same as these trees, the same as these Impala, same as we are, and vice versa. It's such a big thing for me that people must sometimes think of us not separate from nature. People so easily separate us and separate what we do from nature. And it's a scary thing to do. I think maybe that's why some things around our planet are happening the way they are, because people think we are above it or separate from it, which is such a dangerous way to think. We are part of it exactly the same as all these cute things we're looking at. Maybe we have a deeper understanding of it, which leaves us with a lot of responsibility. We should think about our planet, not just what we can take from it, but also how we can care for it, which we do. Which is why, for me personally, it is such a huge privilege to be part of this project. What we've done here, Wild Earth, I've always been a massive fan of what's going on. Graham Wallington has become a very good friend. But to be part of this, in conjunction with National Geographic now, National Geographic is a group, or I almost want to say a personality or an entity that has done so much for our planet in the positive way. So just while we're sitting here and we're sort of in awe of all this beauty around us, I just want to mention that I am extremely happy, extremely privileged, and extremely proud to be part of bringing this to you in such distinguished company. Okay, and speaking of National Geographic, someone that's been part of them for a long time to some degree or another, HD, who's a brilliant guy, and he's up there where the aeroplanes take off. He's in Aretusa airstrip. Enjoy the drive, look around for cheetah. It's one of the places we see cheetah sometimes. We're going to just move around a little bit and see what other little things we can find. We'll see you back here just now.
Well, I've just come across to Aretusa to go where no man has gone beyond before. Well, not really. We haven't been coming over this way for a bit, just because it's been a bit tricky with the weather, and going a little bit too far away from cover for us has been always in the back of our mind. So today is a beautiful day, and I've just come up to the airstrip here. If we are going to see cheetah, it's potentially going to be in a habitat like this, very open on the edges of the airstrip and down on the other side as well. I just thought we'd just have a little cruise around this area for a bit, see what we can find. There's a couple of nice birds around as well. There's a little crowned plover over there. It's a tricky one to see, but we have seen it before. Just give a little wing display over there on the other side. I'll just get up a bit closer. There's a couple of them. They're doing some lovely wing displays at the moment. Oh. Except they just flew off. Right, we will come back to them. Birds. Yes, old birds. They fly, don't they? We'll come along or across crown plovers again. Common resident. Just thought we'd have a little look around this area. I know Pete's been with some lovely wildebeest, and particularly with calves, and Impala with calves. Always beautiful to see those youngsters getting their feet, getting their legs, and exercising and getting their strength and growing. But I am on the lookout for something else at the moment. Just got a message from Karen in New York. Hi Karen, welcome and thanks so much for being with us. New York, undoubtedly one of my favourite, excuse me please, undoubtedly one of my favourite cities in the world, and just a beautiful place, and welcome. I'm not sure what temperature it is there, but I'm sure it's a little bit cooler than here at the moment. Karen, your question is about whether we go out on a specific drive for cheetah. Well, we don't go out on any specific drives really for any animal. We probably go to habitats. If we hear that something's around, like we get a message on the radio that there's cheetah on this area, or if there was lion or whatever, we would actually go to that area. We have a certain code of conduct that we work with the other guides, that just we get into a queue and we wait and we give everyone their fair share and be very fair about it. We can go out into habitats that a cheetah might be more frequently found, that's for sure, and same that we do with leopard and lion, but we don't go out on a specific drive. So it's always a bit of a luck of the draw. We always sort of put our throw out our dice to the nature and just see if we can have the best luck we can, I suppose. Really, that's what I'm trying to say. But this is the sort of habitat that you would get potentially cheetah in. When I say not an airstrip, but this is this really open ground here, and they have been seen here before, and we do hope to see them over the next few weeks. We're really going to maximise our chances by coming down in this area more often, but also keeping our ear to the ground when it comes to hearing what the other guides pick up, because the Aretusa guides come around through this, seeing as it's their patch, a lot more, and they will always let us know. They know how important cheetah is to us, to Safari Live, as are all the other animals, but cheetah are a little bit more elusive, a little bit trickier to find, and we definitely will have our ears to the ground for that, Karen. So to answer your question in a nutshell, there's not really a specific drive, but we can maximise our time for cheetah by going to the particular habitats that they prefer. So I hope that answers your question, and welcome aboard, Karen. Just going to poke our heads in down at this dam here and have a little look. Temperature's dropping nicely. Definitely time for predators to start moving. Very dry down here. That's that crowned plover just there. Let's have a little look at him. They just run across the ground there. There's a pair of them just there. You got that fantastic cackling sound, but it's such a... always reminds me of Africa when I hear that sound, particularly at this time of the day, right on dusk. It's just a quintessential African dusk sound. So I still call it the old name, crowned plover, but it's actually, the new name is crowned lapwing. I might have it here, I think, in our little bird ID. That's what it looks like up close and personal. That lovely little black crown on its head there. That's an adult, that's a juvenile, just a little bit more dusky in its appearance with yellower legs. And this is what it sounds like. It's a very, very common sound that's heard in Africa, and they're a great little bird. Very, very busy. Yeah, I still use the old name, plover, but they are now called a lapwing. We might just venture down that road there, actually. Let's drive around here a couple of times and see what we can see. Just got a tweet from Deb in Connecticut. Hi Deb, and welcome aboard to you as well. Good question, and absolutely no problem answering it. It's a question about, do cheetah prefer open country because of their speed?
What luck. Yes, guys, welcome back. That was a very quick cut to us. We have found the leopard. He's busy hunting. He's stalking a warthog. The Franklins are going nuts here. And for some reason, I don't think, I could be wrong, but this didn't look to me like Kunyuma at first glance. But I could be wrong. We haven't seen him that much. Just go a little bit forward here. He's busy stalking a warthog. The warthog did run off, but I don't think it actually saw the leopard. Look at that tail tip just twitching. Yeah, this is so exciting. We're just driving along, admiring the sky, and the next thing, we actually saw the warthog, and then boom, there's a leopard. We'll get into who this is just now. We'll get an ID when we can. Look at that tail tip, that twitching. He is stalking. He is busy hunting. But this guy just looks a bit bigger and a little bit darker to me than Kunyuma. I could be wrong. We'll work on that as we go along. Yeah, but this is the time to see a leopard. The sun is getting low, the light is getting beautiful, sort of soft late afternoon light, and this is what it's all about. All of this, the experience, the fresh air, the sun, the wildlife, but that exciting moment when you first spot something that sends your heart racing, that it never gets old. It's like the first time every time. Yeah, the squirrel's still going nuts here behind us. Maybe we can see that. Let me get my binos looking at us. The behavior is like Kunyuma. Yeah, it's Kunyuma. Oh, he's looking a bit bigger than I thought. Shows you how you get to know a cat. This is our sort of second time, really now, third time that we're seeing him properly. And I saw the face immediately. He looks just like his father. He's got that sort of light area around the eyes, like Mvula was his father. I'm sure it's him. We'll have to see the ID marks just now, but the eyes are very particular to me. The shape of the eyes, the color around it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, hey. Okay, let's follow him.
Okay, we're just going around bit by bit, stopping and having a look. It's very quiet, some wildebeest, a few impala. It's a great place just to have a look and just take your time. We're going to creep around here a little bit further, and just see what comes up. I know Pete just had a leopard, which is fantastic, and it was, I'm not sure if he's lost signal or if he's lost the leopard, but I'm just going to go back to that question we had, that tweet. Control, can you just remind me of the person's name again? I just missed it. Was it Deb in Connecticut? Please bear with me, folks. I do apologise. We just, in that rush to go to Pete, I just had a bit of a look around. Copy, thanks. Yes, it was Deb tweeted us from Connecticut, and Deb, to come back to your question, turn my radio down there. Cheetah absolutely prefer this sort of open ground. They can hunt in slightly woodland, slightly more densely vegetated areas as well. They prefer this open ground because of their speed, because of that's what their key weapon is, or their best skill. But I have seen them in woodland like this straight ahead of us as well, exactly like that. I think I told the story the other night about driving along in Zimbabwe, and Impala jumped across the road in front of me in this very, very thick woodland, and a cheetah, bang, got it as soon as it hit the ground, which was an extraordinary thing to see live, happened right in front of me. But that vegetation was very, very thick. So it just depends. Just depends. So I'm going to head back to Pete, because hopefully that answered your question, Deb. And you're exactly right. They do prefer this open area if they can. So we're going to go back to Pete. He's got Kunyuma again, which is fantastic. We've had him for a couple of days now. He's a fantastic leopard and very tolerant, and I think he's got good pictures, so we'll see you soon.
And this proves my theory. He's not bothered at all by the vehicle. At all by the vehicle. He's curious about the camera. He's going to move away, give him some space. Okay, we're going to stop right here. Sit nice and still, Brian. He's very curious about the camera on the back. The vehicle is not the problem. It's the camera that's getting him curious. He's just got to get used to us over the next few days. He already is much better than he was yesterday. Oh, he's gorgeous. Look at that tail. What is smelling? Something that is smelling there. Smelling anything. I don't think it's the warthog. The warthog went the other way. But it is exciting. He's heading up towards basically quarantine area. Quarantine area, as we well know, it's got impalas, baby impalas. Got that other wildebeest, the little calf there, as well as the wildebeest that had the calf that the same leopard caught yesterday morning. He's on the hunt, that's very clear. A bit tricky. Not the worst kind of terrain, but it's quite thick. Oh, so right. There's a log. Let's climb over that. Gorilla used to, especially with her second litter, with Duna. She used to be in this area a lot, the specific little block we're in now. Let's just sit here for now and see what he does. Lots of stopping, looking, listening. Very attuned to his environment, smelling. Obviously, the key element for all predators really, but especially for leopard, is surprise. They need to know about the prey before the prey knows about them. He could even be following the trail of something small like a scrub hare, something that he caught this morning. They're very opportunistic. They'll even catch little birds, things like that. So we could see a a small hunt at any second. I mean, I've seen them a few times. You follow them, and the next one is just a flash of spots, and suddenly they've caught a little bird or a little something small. But ultimately, he would be hunting things sort of between the 5 and the 40 kilogram range. So scrub hair to Impala, that's the size he's going for. Just see, I think we go around this. Another opening up ahead of us. Ah, love this every time. Every time. What a pleasure as well to get to know these guys again, because as I said, when I drive through, I've just got all these memories coming back of Karula and of the other cubs that we got to know in this area. She's always raised the cubs in this area. This is where she was raised with her mother Safari 10 years ago. But Nabi here again, following one of her offspring. It's amazing. Right, so he's moving just there. Got a bit more of this thick stuff, and then we are coming up to, well, actually there's first a bit of almost worse terrain, then quarantine, which is the best kind of terrain. Staying parallel to him, we're going to try and get a good view again when there's an opportunity. We might climb up in this termite mine, that would be quite nice. Leopards do like to do that sometimes. There he goes. Just to get a bit of a higher vantage point. Oh, look at those eyes, eh? Sure. Very specific. I know I've mentioned already, but it's got a very specific eye shape. Not just the lightness around the eyes, which is one thing, but even the shape, the angle of them, the almost an almond type shape to the eyes, which is lovely. Yeah, is he going to climb up there? No, maybe, perhaps not. It's not always the case, but leopards, and Karula loves to do it, so obviously her cubs pick it up from her. Quite often when they're moving along, they'll climb onto the termite mound just to get a bit of elevation, to look around, to see, you know, what could be around there to move to next, but not this time. Brian, can you see you're a little bit higher up, so we go this way around?
He's on the left here.
Okay. I don't think we can cross here. Oh, there he goes. See, I think there's a big log in there or something. Cheeky. Rain like this. Don't want to lose him. Yeah, luckily, it was just reminding me that they did paint these Land Rovers in impenetrable paint. I think we can get through it. You scratch it. That's brilliant for us. Right. Yeah. That way up. Back here. Right the one? Yeah. Okay. That was a worry bush, luckily no thorns on it. I think I just saw a flick of a tail that way. Yeah. See that white tail tip? Not only handy for leopard females so that their cubs can follow them, also handy for us, we can follow them. I think. I'm speaking too soon. Oh, there he goes. Now, I keep telling you about all these memories I have of driving around here, of different cats, different leopards in the past. I'll tell you about one just now. Beautiful. beautiful. Yo, that's gorgeous. That was beautiful, just the way he stood, the way he was poised, the tail tip. And he's got a lovely face. He really does have a beautiful, almost, what's the right word? I was going to say almost an exotic face for a leopard in this area. He's got really almost, the shape of the eyes are quite special. And I don't want to go on about it, but I know people think that leopard all look the same, but leopard do look a little bit different, and this guy's got beautiful looks. I think I can agree there with Will. He was just saying almost like a Somali, sort of that northeastern African facial features there. That's absolutely stunning leopard. I'm really falling in love with this guy. He's an awesome leopard. I like the fact that he's a little bit shy, but the assumption I made the other day, or the realization I had, I think is confirmed again today. He doesn't actually mind the vehicles. He's very comfortable with the vehicles, but he is very curious about this camera, about this eye, and also maybe the 6'4" giant in the back. Brian is not a giant, he's just tall. That sort of cowboy shape too. The boy with the Brits in the butt. Not to go on about Brian, but there's a definite reaction to this, what's going on here, not to this in the car. Let's just quickly go. We're not quite close to the road now, so I'm going to move up ahead. We're going to sit and wait in front of him, walk towards us hopefully. Just ahead here somewhere. You see him? Okay. Let's just sit here for now.
Roll back a little bit more and we'll shut it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
cool. Hey. Look at that face again. Still get to know certain spot patterns on this guy's face, but at the moment I can just recognize him just by seeing him from pretty much looking like his father.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Okay, you sat down.
See if he moves again. Oh, he's grooming now, huh? What do you think, Brian? Should we go closer? Oh, it's not actually a bad view. Let's sit here for now. Grooming is very important for leopard. Not only does it keep them clean in the sense of dust and so on, but also from ticks. Now that we're going into summertime, there's a lot of exoparasites, mainly ticks, and that grooming plays a big role in keeping them clean as well. And you'll see them often doing this, while moving even, stopping a bit, grooming a bit, moving on again. And then they will have parts of the day where they groom a lot. But leopards are always immaculately clean. Yeah, some questions would be great. I'm sure we're all enjoying this leopard. I'm excited. I'm excited to know that you are excited. So if you have any questions about leopard, or specifically maybe this leopard, or his family tree if you want, feel free to ask. Just a reminder, if you've just joined us in the last day or two, on the last drive, we are live here in Africa, in one of the most magical of areas for me, in the Lowveld, in the Greater Kruger National Park, Sabi Sands. And you can ask us questions, or just make comments, join the chat rooms. If you want to email, it's questions@wildearth.tv, or if you want to tweet, #SafariLive. Oh, look at that face. I remember the first time I saw Mvula. I was also struck by how different he looked, the eyes specifically, and there's no doubt whatsoever that leopards look like their parents to some extent or another. In fact, some studies even suggest that there's similarities in spot patterns, which I can totally see. Yeah, Pamela, definitely. If it's an interesting question. Pamela's just asking if Mvula, who is the father of this leopard, came across him now. And keep in mind, this leopard is about 2 years old. He'll be 2 in about a month from now. So he's in that stage of becoming independent. He's not fully independent. He's still living in his mum's territory, so he's still living at home. But he's left school now. He's now going into the wild world. And, they're just beautiful when they move like that. So beautiful. Pamela's just asking if Mvula, his father, would tolerate him. He is also still within the territory of his father. Keep in mind that male leopards don't really have much of a role to play in the raising of the cubs, well, any role. But in this area, in Sabi Sands, there has been a few cases of males seeing or being seen with their cubs in the course of their sort of growing up time in the first 2 years, even sharing kills. I've personally been lucky enough to see back with Mission and Duna, Karula and Yambili Jordan, them tolerating each other. And so yes, Pamela, there are examples of seeing this, so it is possible that they'll tolerate them. As they get older, less and less so. Well, that's what we think. I mean, ideally or ultimately they just leave the area, so who knows if they bump into each other again later. And in this specific case, who knows how all this works? You know, there's so much that we don't understand about ourselves, never mind about other animals. And I'm sure Mvula doesn't know what he looks like, because he never checks himself in the mirror, although he drinks water. I've seen leopard drink water, walking up to water, looking at the water, and I don't think it's necessarily because they're fishing. Point I'm getting to is when Mvula sees this leopard, this specific one we're looking at now, I would be amazed if there is not some kind of recognition. And I don't mean that necessarily as in a mirror image of himself, although it's quite astonishing how similar looking they are. But I'm sure Mvula must see something of himself in this leopard, the same as we do in our offspring. I refer to this every now and again. I was very, very fortunate and very lucky to become a father a second time 6 weeks ago. What day is today? 6 weeks ago on Thursday. Something 7 weeks ago. Time flies. And there's something inherently great about seeing your offspring. In my case, a little boy, and you recognize certain aspects of yourself and of your partner in him. And that's not necessarily just because we know what we look like. I think there is something much deeper on a emotional, instinctive level where we recognize each other. And I think, in my opinion, Mvula would have that connection with this leopard, especially with this leopard when he sees him. That could be Mvula 6 years ago. I'm loving this view as well. We're sitting in a little bit of a hollow here, so we're much lower down to the ground relative to the leopard. And move slightly. The leopard's on the move as well. So fluid when they move. Perfectly poised athletes. Magic on the move. Right behind us now. Just give him a little bit of time to walk down. He's on the same road just behind us. It's a question there from Pat, very good question. Very interesting one. Would leopards, let's cross the road so we can follow him. Would leopards be able to recognize other leopards from the scent? And I would say almost certainly. Now, I wouldn't say that gorilla would recognize Kunyuma scent 6 years from now if she randomly smelt it. But if you scent mark somewhere, even his tracks, oh, beautiful track there in the sand, even his tracks, she would recognize it from that. They've got glands in between the toes that they can pick up scent from. Keep in mind, animals have a sense of smell that we can't even imagine. Male leopards would recognize female leopards in their territory from the scent. That's why they mark. Obviously during sort of estrus behavior, you know, when the females are going into heat, there's more scent accompanied with that. But leopards scent mark all the time around the area, exactly to do that, to tell other leopards that we are around. And if Mvula was moving around this area, and Tingana, the big male from the western side in this area, on their boundaries there would be a lot of places where they mark mutual areas where there's a sort of overlapping. And Mvula would know this scent mark that I'm smelling is Tingana, he's my neighbor. And that's where he is and that's where I am. And if there was a strange leopard marking there, they would know this is a stranger, this is not a guy that I know normally. Let's go around here. It's a little bit bumpy.
Hellishly bumpy, yeah.
Hey?
It's hellishly bumpy.
Very bumpy. Alright, I think let's go around, not too far from the track. Just this time of night when the light is tricky like this, there can be any minute that he might be hunting, and also we could lose him so easily. Because this really is that sort of witching hour, if you want to know. It's like the light is playing tricks on your eyes quite easily, which is great light for hunting, probably better than dark even for a leopard. So we're going to try to keep up with him. He's moving through this worry thicket. There he goes, perfect, perfect. I think we can actually move down to the road and just track alongside him. The drive is up to date. Also, just to update, this Kudu Ingwe is now moving parallel to Kudu Road for Cheetah Dam in the block directly east from this player. There he goes. Hey, look at that, straight towards us. Amazing. Uh-oh. He's going back into that incredibly thick stuff that seems to be one of the habitat sort of types that he really likes. One of the reasons I like him as well. Doesn't make it easy to follow him, but he loves this kind of stuff. Okay, this we can actually get into, but let's just first see where he goes first. Walking down the track there. Went in here the other day after a few elephants. So not sure if we can stick with him. Depends on where he ends up. But we'll stay with him as long as is possible. There he goes. Just disappearing behind the trees. What to do. Elephants broke all these branches the other day. We're actually watching them when they were eating here. It's a little breeding herd. Leopard disappearing act number 1. Figure out where we are and alright.
He's in there somewhere.
He's in there. That we know. We've known that the whole day. Alright. Brian, can I swing there to the left? Alright, so sharp left. Okay. We're going to go around and see if he crosses the drainage line, comes up on the other side. Let me just see. It's actually very close to where he had his kill up until this morning. So we'll go around. Maybe we can see him again there. Lock first, hold on. Very strange angle there. Okay, hold on a little bit. I'm getting the right gear. Have I ever mentioned that I absolutely love these cars? Cool. And Graham and Pete Wright and all the guys from Wild Earth, you have literally given us the best vehicle, and I'm not making this up or being dramatic about it. You've given us the best possible vehicle in the world to do this with. Thank you. I don't mind driving them. I love driving them. So thank you for trusting me with them. And I don't mean that I'm being a little bit facetious. I've driven vehicles like this for a large part of my life in terrain like this. I care deeply for vehicles, but this is the best vehicle in the world for doing this with. Maybe even the best of the best, the Jigga, because the Jigga, sort of, I've said before, she sort of rolled into it by now. You know, she's done a lot of this. I've spent a lot of time in the seat. She seems to just do it, you know. Alright, well, I can't promise we're going to find this leopard again. I can promise we're going to try. We've been trying the whole day and we succeeded in the end. Lady luck playing some role in that, as always with leopard, as always with wildlife. And maybe go as far as saying as always in life. But he was heading into this stuff, which we could spend a whole day looking for him and not find him like we did today. Not a whole day, but many hours. Maybe he pops out, maybe we find him on one of the little tracks we found in there. We're going to check it now. HT, I think, is probably also heading slowly back in this direction in general. He was quite far out to the west this afternoon. Let's see what the rest of the evening brings. We've got, oh my goodness, time does fly when you're having fun. It's 21 and a half minutes to go, to be precise. We are working on very strict times now because we're all gearing up for and getting ready for the Big Cat Week with Nat Geo. So we're getting down into the little nitty-gritty details of exact timing and beginning and ends and so forth. There's the alarm call. That's what I was expecting. That's where he went in. Whoa, what's that? There's something up in the tree which is interesting. I just saw eyes up in that big jackalberry. I wonder if he had a little bit of food left. I don't think so. Remember, he left there this morning. HT was with him when Nahina arrived. No, I did heard of Franklin. I did heard. I must remember that English is a second language for me. I was talking about. No, I'm just kidding. I did hear Franklin calling in here. So it could be from the leopard, but when I shone the lights in the tree just now, I saw eyes that were bigger than like a bush baby. They were bigger than... so I'm a bit curious. Maybe this brings us back to that question just now, where the leopard can recognize each other's smells. Maybe Karula's in the area, smelled that he's been around, climbed up the tree to see if there's food left. Maybe he's back up there. We're going to try and see. So we just have to navigate. The terrain always looks much more scary at night when you're going through the bush. Whoa, that feels more scary at night as well when you go to funny angles. What's that? There's movement. Up in the tree, what's that? Something big. I can see the branches moving. Oh, it's a leopard. Which leopard it is, I don't know. Maybe him, maybe another one. Wow, guys, he's like way off the ground. Look at that. It looks like him. That's where the carcass was earlier. Maybe he's just seeing if he forgot any little snippet of food. Look at that. That's beautiful. With the sunset behind.
Yeah, you got up there quickly.
Quicker. No, that was quicker than you could say. Let's go around to the other side. Yo. Isn't this just... One of the things that used to be most sad for me is to see these beautiful things and only sharing it with a few people. And trust me, it's great. You meet some amazing people guiding, but I always hope that I could share it with more people. People close to me, people that I don't know yet, but that have a similar passion for wildlife. And what a spectacular opportunity to do it in this way. Hey, hold on. That's incredible. He's standing almost sideways there. Perfectly balanced, the tail playing a big role. He's going to jump down probably. Yo! Just on behalf of everyone, Brian, great job. I know that a lot of people are thinking that right now. It's not the easiest thing to follow a leopard coming down a tree. I'm just going to go a little bit forward. Sorry guys, I'm trying to multitask here. Well, no, that's not necessarily the best trait for men, multitasking. I can do most of my driving without thinking. Now what's he going to do next? There he's coming into the drainage line. I've got him there again for a minute, just a glimpse. Brian, yeah, sir, I'm going to try and get him again, but he pops out. He's going to pop out here, yeah. We're going to have to turn in order to stay with him. So we're going to have to go back onto that awkward little angle there. It's funny with 4x4ing or off-roading, if you go up or down steep things, it doesn't feel that. I mean, it feels strange sometimes if it's very steep. But when you go sideways, it feels awkward very, very quickly. Okay, let's see. It should be about coming out now. He was heading up here. Might have already crossed though. He was moving with sort of intent. Let's just go on. Try and watch out, buffalo on the left. Do you see him?
No, it's somewhere here.
Yeah, he was just crossing round about here if he went up the bank, but I mean, oh, there we go. Awesome. Oh yeah. I don't want to put too much light on him. He is hunting, so a little bit of light won't affect him. Like just sort of off the edge of the light there.
I'll leave more than that.
Yeah, I might actually try and grab my torch. Oh, look at that. Okay, so going right behind us. Give me a second. Handheld torch, which might actually serve better for this purpose. Well, we're going to have to go around. See if we can catch up again. Actually, brilliant. We were talking about this the other day with HD. These days, the torch lights you get in relatively small sizes are incredible. And for this kind of close proximity stuff with a leopard, you told me 10 years ago you'd have a little torch the size of your hand and you could follow a leopard through bush, I would have laughed at you. Now, this seems to do the trick. Okay, well, let's see, somewhere around here, we just sit tight a little bit. It was weaving a little bit. Now this is where he made the kill last night, yesterday morning. Just going to it'd be interesting if he's just checking his. The fact that he went up that other tree was interesting. Maybe there was something left, and we made the kill last night. If you look up the front here, that tree, that's where he had the kill up yesterday morning. Maybe there's a little bit of something left there, who knows. If we're very lucky, in the next 14 minutes we might jump back up that tree, who knows. That would be a very cool ending to the drive for tonight.
Absolute treat.
Yeah. Unless it snuck away into the bush. Let's go a bit forward. Oh, there he is, there he is, there he is. He's going to walk right into the lights. A bit closer. I've got a feeling he might just climb up that tree. There he is, at the base of the tree. I'll head out the way. Just behind the tree trunk now. Here we go. Come on. Spoil us. Oh, if you've never seen a leopard climb up a tree, if he does it now, please watch carefully. It is the most beautiful movement. Yes. Oh. Just checking. Did I maybe forget a little snippet of food? Oh. Guys, I'm going to just turn a little bit because we're going to be able to get this leopard not only up a tree but against this last remains of the sunset. Ah, this is spectacular. Wow. Brian, can you get that?
Oh, yes.
That's just the natural light now. Oh, mesmerizing. Okay, he's coming down again. Looking, listening, seeing what the evening has to tell. Oh, that's one of the nicest climbs I've seen ever. Right here next to us we had the grandstand. You might be my new favorite leopard in the world, other than your mother, of course. Karula will always have that special place for me. He's right here next to us, guys. Look at that. There's the car having a look at us. I think he's gotten more and more used to us as well. You know what? After that amazing sighting and amazing time with him, I'm going to let him walk off into the dark now. He's moving around looking for chances, hunting. Donna was just asking, what do they rely on most when hunting? It's a combination of everything, Donna. It really is call it like a holistic impression of the environment that is created by sight, smell, sound, touch even. They rely heavily on touch when they start stalking. Although I do feel like this leopard spoke to us tonight. Yo, that was...
What a treat. What
yeah. Guys, I just have to share with Brian as well in the back here. I can hear just the way he's speaking that he's got a big grin on his face. I think for every person that's ever dreamt of doing wildlife camera work, one of the things you envision, one of the things you know, like I used to play serious tennis when I was younger, and I hope to one day win Wimbledon. As a wildlife cameraman, you hope to one day film a leopard climbing up a tree like that, with the sky behind it, climbing down, I mean, right into camera. He's looking down the barrel as he landed. Yeah. And Brian, I think if you could have dreamt it even bigger, you might not even have been able to hope that you would not only film that, but they would share that live. I mean, that is so cool, guys, that you're sitting from around the world. Donna, that was just asking a question now. You know, we've got questions from all around America and Europe, South America, South Africa, Namibia, all these places. That was something, that was something good. Very good. What a treat to see that and to share that. Just slowly making our way back. We've got a few minutes left of the drive. We're going to go back across Gowrie Dam Wall here. As we might tell a lot, you'll see the lights just now as we go past it. In fact, we'll stop and have a look at it. It's a beautiful sight, always the lodge at night, or the lights on the water really. And then we'll just go sort of slowly across quarantine area again, back towards camp, where I know everyone will be. Lots of smiles tonight. We've had a good day, good leopards. just seeing the lights. They've got some floodlights on the waterhole just to light the water. Still a bit of sky left, the lodge lights in the back. They're expecting their guests back normally around about 7 o'clock as well, 7:30. So the same times that we're doing our drives is the times for the game drives. Well, I'm hoping, just going to check how far HT is. It'd be great if we could say goodbye together. He was out far in the west. He found this leopard originally yesterday morning. Had a great time with it this morning when he followed it with coming down the tree and the hyena and the whole story. So between the two of us, we've had magical moments with all of you with this leopard. So it'll be nice if we can say goodbye and good night together. Alright, perfect. Thank you all. Just letting us know that H is on his way. Bumpy section. HT again. Guys, you're going to jump in the car with Hayden and then we're going to say goodbye together. So I'll see you again very shortly. Texting again. Yeah, we had that Mampimpa and Madoda Kunyuma again, crossing Central Road just below Voitila Dam Wall and then heading into that block. South, the western side of Larry.
Hi folks, and we've just caught up with Pete. Let me just get this vehicle into position a bit better so we can talk nicely. Stand by. There's a little bit of manoeuvring here and we can talk nicely. There we go. Hello my friend. You've had a fantastic time by the sounds of it.
I've had an amazing
Hey there
day.
bro, you all good?
And yeah, I mean, I was just saying it'd be nice to say.
Tell me about it. Tell me what happened.
Well, I'm going to cut right to it. It was one of the most beautiful visual images I've had a leopard climbing up a tree. Long story. We found him here. We're driving down. We were looking up and down, as you know, and we did a bit of interesting driving to get in there. And found him in here. He was stalking a warthog. Warthog ran off. Followed him. You know, all the usual beautiful, you know, sightings, and he's getting more used to us as well.
Yeah.
He's well, 6'4" in the back here. He was having a look at him once or twice with the camera lens. I think really it is, and I mentioned that to people, that lens,
yeah,
that eye that he sees, he's more curious about it.
Absolutely.
And I just had lots of sort of memory flashbacks.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he went into the stick stuff, and we followed him and guessed that he might be going in there because we could see the tree in the bottom where we had the kill, and you know where you had him this morning still. And then we went around on the other side on the bank, and he was up in the tree, so we saw him climbing down the big jackalberry.
The same one?
The same one. He went to check if there's any snaps left.
Right.
And then he climbed up, and so it was really nice in the thick stuff. And then we guessed that maybe if he's checked that, he might check the tree that he had the original killing, where you spotted him the first time. And he said that's where you saw it, and sort of preempted it, and he went there straight. So we're sitting in the perfect place, saw him climbing up. We had a little bit of the sky still. So, you know, the sky at the back was backlit them, even switched the lights off. So you had this almost mystical form at one stage.
Beautiful.
Long branch, leopard walking on it, like what you imagine. You know?
Yeah, great.
And you showed me a picture the other day in Uganda,
Yeah,
like that, but
yeah,
with
yeah.
dark sky. And
Beautiful.
And then he climbed down, right down the trunk, and jumped down. As he landed, he looked right like this at us.
How
in
fantastic.
the barrel, you know.
How
So-
brilliant is that?
So yeah, and we just let him walk off into the distance, and now we can get to say goodnight together. So yeah,
Oh, isn't that great,
it's been a
mate?
good
Isn't
day,
that great?
very good day.
I have to say that lens thing is very, very true. When I had my lens up to one of the lines the other night, just as we cameraed off, and I took a couple more photos, she looked into the lens, and she sort of gave a little bit of a mock look at me, and a bit of a vocal. But anyway,
Yeah, and when you're looking through the eyepiece,
yeah,
that leopard can be, or lion can be close. I think that's about the time for tonight. It's been an awesome, awesome day. I've got a smile about this big on my face, and HD's got one of those really quiet, content smiles on his face, going into the big one. We're going to talk about this tonight around the fire. As always, guys, such a pleasure to have you with us. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you very much for getting us to share this with you.
absolutely. Thanks so much, everyone, and
Bye-bye.
we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock African
and early.
time.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys. Nice, mate.
Start and end your day on safari. Every day, twice a day through